right, 888-SHAVE-45. Hope everything is okay. Hello?
Yeah, we had a bit of technical difficulty. We are back with Prize. What's up, man? Sorry about that. My apologies.
It's all good, man. It's all good.
We were talking a bit about the documentary that you produced, and you're in a bunch of. Let's catch people up in case you're just tuning in.
Yeah, this documentary, Sweet Mickey for President, basically what I was telling my man right after the earthquake in 2010 in Haiti. I went to my good friend of mine named Sweet Mickey, a.k.a. Michelle Martelli, very provocative musician down from Haiti, used to cross-dress, wear diapers on stage. And I told him, man, you should run for president of Haiti, And so this documentary is a journey between him going from a transformation of that guy, Sweet Mickey, to becoming Michelle Martelli, the presidential candidate, and on to become the president. Now, in this movie, what you get to see, you also get to see some interjection from different characters, like Wyclef Jean doing his ring in the hat. I mean, his hat in the ring.
Did you take that as a personal affront to you? Because I don't know, like if me and you used to be part of a project, and I see that you're trying to do something, I would like have one of your homies run for office. I would at least give you a phone call.
You know what? To his defense, he didn't know I was supporting Michelle Martelli, and we didn't know he was running. We didn't know until like 3 weeks leading up to it. Time Magazine did a big piece on Clef, and that's when we were like, but somebody had mentioned the rumor to me. There was a 4th of July party that he had at his house, and he made an announcement there. But I thought it was just him joking around.
Yeah.
So then we had to go register that August. So Michelle and I already had planned this 7 months prior.
Right.
Because the earthquake happened in January, and by February, Michelle and I were already plotting and planning about, running for office. There's no way in my mind I thought Wyclef would ever, at that stage of his life, would have ran for president. I didn't doubt that he would ever want to. It's just that I didn't think he would want to at that stage. And to be quite honest with you, I get it why he wanted to do it. Because had he been the president, he would have been man on fire. You know what I mean?
What was your relationship like with Wyclef at that time and leading up to it?
We were cool. We were cool. I mean, we still cool now, but it was obviously we weren't what we were, say, 15, 20 years ago.
Did success make it harder to be around one another?
I mean, that has some play into it, but I think it's also, you have egos, you have a bunch of things going on with different people, so people move a different way. So I'm the type of person like, okay, if you on that shit, that's cool. You know what I mean? I'm not mad at it. I just keep it moving, So, but I've always been cordial with Wyclef. Listen, I'm always going to have, no matter what ever happened to us, I'm always going to have a lot of love for him because, just the way he needed me for him to be who he is the same way I needed him, to be where I'm at.
Yeah, you guys were the group.
We were the group. Yeah. I was the guy running on the streets getting that money for us to get in the studio.
Is that how it had? Tell me, what do you mean?
So I started the group. So it was me, Lauryn Hill, and this other girl named Marcy. Actually, the real original bandmates is myself, this girl named Marcy, who introduced me to Lauryn Hill. Now, Marcy was 10 times Lauryn Hill.
Really?
10 times Lauryn Hill. You think Lauryn Hill's the beast? Well, she's the black hole, like in that universe.
What happened to Marcy then?
Yo, she dropped out of the group right before we about to get signed.
Damn.
Yeah. It was crazy. So then Wyclef had another group because Clef was older than me. So he graduated out of high school before me. So I was stuck to starting this group on my own. And then my mentor who got me on, this guy named Khalis Bayon, who's the founder and writer for Kool and the Gang, back in those days, he put me on. And Clef one day came in to produce a song for me. And he was like, yo, y'all got a vibe going on. But that's because we used to play together in a church. We just didn't do it outside of the church.
Right.
So he was like, yo, that's the group right here. And then Clef asked me to be in the group. I let him in the group. And that's kind of like how...
Yeah. That's how it went.
Yeah.
And then I imagine once the egos get involved, you're like, hey, man, I started this.
No, I ain't even get into all that.
It wasn't even like...
Nah, I don't get into that, man. Listen, one thing about me, I'm the most egoless person you'll ever meet. Straight up. You know what I'm saying? That's why I love the Patriots, man. That's how we play, man. We just get the job done.
Just win.
Just win.
Then what was the problem then? If you don't get into that, then what was the
Well,
what
I
was
mean,
the
you
problem?
can't control. You could only control yourself. You can't control the other person, right?
Right.
So you could only try to, work it out with them. Be like, listen, man, it ain't about that. Let's win. But some people would rather lose so you won't win, which is the craziest. I don't understand where that comes from. I have no idea what that is.
It's cutting off your nose to spite your face.
It is, but I'm just saying, like, I don't know what that is. I can't. I've been trying to understand, and I like to think that, I'm a pretty smart guy. I like to think that,
You got somebody elected president.
know.
I mean, shit.
Yeah, and I can't
I mean?
understand that. I just can't understand how. But it's just how the life works. You know what I'm saying too? It's just what it is. And so,
Where was Lauren during the whole fucking during the fracturing of the group?
I mean, Lauren was part of it too.
Yeah.
Because I mean, this is not a secret, so I'm not gonna put anything out there that's not a secret. But they had a relationship. You know what I mean? That's not. Don't look at me like that's a secret. You act like you never knew that.
Look, bro, I just liked your albums.
No, I get it.
You know?
Okay, so okay.
So this is all, like this is
Just
cool
know-
to me. Like
right.
this is like I'm really learning things.
So anyway, so them two had a relationship, and obviously we seen this movie before, right? We know how it goes, right?
It's
It's like any horror movie, right? The guy runs in the house. You know what's gonna happen. He's gonna die.
every time I bang someone a woman I work with, it just ends poorly.
Yeah, 9 times out of 10 it will. Yeah.
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 And so that helped fracture things. That must have been tough to walk away. Like you what is that? I remember the last time I checked, y'all went like diamond.
Yeah.
And that was fucking a long time ago.
Yeah. We sold about 20 million records worldwide.
God damn.
But the thing is, it's hard because when we were making music and performing together, it was really there was this bond we had that each individual felt it. It was that love that we naturally have for one another. But for some reason, we just couldn't get our act together.
I imagine it's a lot like getting a divorce when a group that reaches the heights that you guys did have to break up.
Yeah, but the sad thing about it is, it didn't have to be like that. You see what I'm saying to you? It's like there's certain things that it happens because it has to happen, right? Like my girl, Left Eye, Lisa Left Eye, right?
Yeah.
It's unfortunate what happened to her death, right? So that what took a hander on TLC.
Yeah.
So there's nothing they can do about it, right? It's just what
It was
she
a tragedy.
It was a tragedy, and she was a very instrumental part of the group, right? This right here is because motherfuckers just on some bullshit.
What do you think that you could have done different?
There's nothing I could have done different.
So it wasn't your fault that it broke up.
No, of course not. It wasn't my fault. No.
So what? So it was just because Clef and Lauren had the relationship.
It's not just that. It's not just because of that. It was. I mean, obviously, this is a bunch of different variables that come in that you can't control that are unforeseen. But I think that was another variable that added insult to the injury, if you will. So meaning that, listen, I'm not putting all the blame on him.
Right.
You know what I'm saying too? Because one could make the argument maybe I should have stepped up a little bit harder and try to really control the ship, But, I'm one of those people who really believe in this theory, free will. You know what that means?
Yeah.
Means that I don't believe I should have to manipulate you or force you to want to do the right thing. You should automatically know to want to do the right thing. And if I see you going down the cliff, I'm just gonna let you go down the cliff. But that's a fucked up way.
I gotta tell you, Praz, it shows in the movie. there's still, when I was watching it, like, you're telling me all this stuff, but I'm watching the movie.
I forgot we were here for the movie. Yo. I went somewhere else.
Look,
right.
but like this, everything that we just talked about plays into the movie,
That's
y'all.
deep. That's deep.
Because I saw it, like, and I didn't know what was going on.
Right,
I'm
right.
like, when I'm watching the film, I'm like, whoa, dude, like, this shit ended poorly, and you could tell because it's still there, man.
Right.
It's still there.
That's some deep shit, man. You saw that, man. That's deep.
Bro, yeah.
Wow.
You know, like,
wow.
it was crazy, and there was a big scene in there where back to the movie where
Right.
your guy's doing well, and you go on a Clef decides not to run for, or gets kicked out,
Right.
and it seemed to me that it was a very calculated move for him to jump in bed with y'all. Like, it seemed very calculated.
Right.
One thing that I gathered from just watching it, and I don't know if other people, but Clef seems very like he seems like every move he does is very thought out. So now Clef is in your guys' camp.
Right.
You say some shit that is like political suicide
Right.
on a I'm not gonna go into
Right,
it,
right.
where you can't be around
Right.
you can't be around the Michael
Michelle Martelli.
Michelle Martelli.
They kicked me
anymore.
out of the campaign, basically.
You brought him in, and
Right.
then they put you out. Well, you put yourself out.
I put myself out, and then Clef comes in.
Yeah, so Clef is on fucking stage dancing with Michelle, and you're in your fucking room playing on the phone, and it was like the most depressing shit I've ever seen. I was like, wow, that's gotta fucking sting. It's like, that's gotta fucking hurt right there.
Yo, that shit was good. But you know what, though? You want to hear something funny? In all honesty, the first 10 minutes of my human existence, I felt exactly what you said. On that 11th minute, I said, you know what? If it's going to help this guy win and to help him serve the people, so be it. That's why I never said anything. I never came, Michelle, like, yo, what are you talking about? Nah, I was like, listen, if this is going to help for you to win, B, if this is the best thing, I'm all for it.
Look, man, like I said, I just knew you as the group. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
And then when I really got to see you, I didn't see your first documentary. I saw this one.
Right.
And I respected you. But I got a whole new respect watching you act like a man. And sometimes being a man is fucking eating shit and not saying anything and just like, yo, you gotta eat this shit sandwich. And that was you chilling upstairs eating the shit sandwich, and there's all this weird blood between everybody, and like you're still supporting everybody.
Yeah, man, that's just my DNA.
When you rewatch that, does it take you back to that moment, or have you been able to be like, that was then? And I'm
one of
good?
those people, man. You know, in all honesty, man, and this is something that whoever's listening and whoever is trying to get in the hip hop game or want to do something with their lives, yo, I think one of the reasons I can sit here and say that I am one of the most blessed and luckiest person on this planet to have the lifestyle that I have, to be able to do what I do, is because my heart has always been good, man. Like, you know, people would sit here and be like, yeah, I know the Fugees, but I don't really know the third guy, whatever. That's cool, but you know what, though? Yo, to be able to sit here, and this is why I travel a lot. Like, I go to Iraq. I was in Iraq over the summer. I went to where ISIS was at. I was at the front line. I went to Azerbaijan. You know, I go to North Korea. I go to these places because when I go back home to my place in Beverly Hills or my house down in Soho, driving my car, you know, living that life, I thank the living gods, man, because I'm so blessed. And so because that's who I am. You know, despite on, like you say, eating that shit sandwich, I still, don't get me wrong, I ain't gonna let nobody just punk me out.
It wasn't getting punked though.
But like, if it's something that's gonna help the greater cause be, I'm that. You know, somebody said to me one time, yo, how come you was the quiet one in the Fugees? I said, let me tell you something. If I had displayed my ego the way the other two individuals did, there would have been no Fugees.
It would have been a goddamn shouting match. It would have been three people yelling.
That's it. It would have never existed. You see what I'm saying? So
No, everybody, some people got to dive after balls, but as long as you guys are holding up that championship
Right.
shit, that's all that
hey,
fucking matters.
That's all that matters, and that's a hard. And I'm gonna tell you something. That's a hard pill to swallow, because everybody want that shine, but they think that shine is what really shine is. Shine is not that. Shine is be able to say, for me to be able to sit here and tell you, in 3 years, and this gonna make me sound old, but in 3 years we're gonna be nominated to be inducted in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame, right? That means we've been around for a long time. But it's not how you start, it's how you finish. See what I'm saying to you?
Yeah.
That's the key. And if people can just grab that, if there's a generation that's younger than me that can just grab that out of this film, because the film has multiple layers to it, right? So when people think of documentary, they think, oh shit, I don't want to see no fucking documentary. But you even said it. That's not what this is. This is a roller coaster ride. It's entertaining. It's funny. It's
Look, man,
heartful.
it had me from, and here's the other shit. Like, maybe I learned this shit in school back in the day, but I didn't realize that Haiti was formed from a slave revolt, which is G shit right there.
Right.
Like
the first black republic in the world.
Bam. A fucking, like, nah, fuck that, this our shit. And then
against France, Napoleon. Yeah, we defeated Napoleon. And America was allowed to purchase 21 states that is known as the Louisiana Purchase from France for $8 million.
That was off of them getting their ass whooped over there. They needed to get some money up. They sold off their shit.
Did you know Chicago was discovered by a Haitian?
No, I didn't know that. No.
Georgia, Savannah. If you go to Savannah, Georgia, you're going to see statues of Haitian because we helped with the Civil War. New Orleans, the reason they got that whole Creole vibe because the Haitian soldiers, after we defeated Napoleon, came and settled down in New Orleans. And that's what created that whole culture that they have right now. Three Musketeers was written by a Haitian. And by the way, there's a lot of Haitians that's in the game right now. From like Blake Griffin. You guys from California, right?
I'm from Michigan, but go ahead.
Oh,
keep
but you
going.
California guy.
Yeah, I'll claim it.
You from Harlem?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. But I'm just saying, so a lot of people don't know the culture and the history, you know what I'm saying? And they're not supposed to know. What's supposed to happen is people like me supposed to bring that to the forefront because I have that platform to do that. That's how we're supposed to do. Kind of like how when Spielberg does his movie like Schindler's List and whatnot, is that he's educating people a piece of his culture and his history.
About the Jewish.
Yeah, because a lot of people don't know that it happened. Just like I just optioned this book where it's the first Haitian and the first black person during World War II to be in a concentration camp. I'm going to make a movie out of that.
That's hard as hell.
That's hard.
Like, yeah, I mean, because...
shit like, that's what you're supposed to do. And you know what? Going back to...
Do you feel like powerful people, black people, aren't doing enough to...
100%. Come on, man. That's... The reason you even asked me that question, because you believe that.
Yeah, I do.
Okay, there you go.
Yeah, I do. And it burns my ass when cats get mad at white people for not big upping them.
But you know what's so funny? I'm going to tell you something interesting.
What's that?
When you look at black folks in the 60s, in the 70s to now, they don't get it. They don't understand why Muhammad Ali will always be the greatest of all time. Not so much because he was a great boxer, because he was, but what he stood for. At the peak of his career, when he was drafted to go fight in Vietnam, he said, I ain't gonna fight this situation here when we got black people and segregation right here. You know what they did? They put him in jail for 3 years, stripped him of all his belt, took his money from him, and plus told him he couldn't go, he couldn't exercise in prison. Comes out, go fight George Foreman, and defeated the heavyweight champion of the world. That's somebody who stands for something. You got, for example, I'm gonna tell you the craziest shit. Okay. You got this dude who I respect as far as what he accomplished and the beast he was on the court.
Michael Jordan.
Yeah. You got these black kids around the country damn near killing each other when your sneakers come out. And the fact that you can't even come out and be like, hey, listen, fellas, I love the fact that you're supporting, but yo, don't go kill each other for these sneakers. If he just said that, yo, those kids will listen to him. You know what he says? Man, I'm just trying to get my money, man. How the fuck as a leader you say some shit like that? So to answer your question, You're 1,000% correct, my man. Real talk.
Nah, I'm right there with you. That's
know what
why
I'm
I'm
saying?
quiet. Like, I don't, yo, it's.
I'm going to speak the truth. I'm just telling you what it is. There's no disrespect to him, but I'm just saying what it is. When I'm sitting back, I'm watching this. You seen it, man. The night before that shit comes on sale, man, you see them kids lining up all across the country,
I
man.
ain't seen him do shit in Ferguson. I'll tell you that much.
You said what?
I ain't seen him do shit in Ferguson.
Nothing. That's what I'm talking about. And that shit is sad as fuck, B. Sad as fuck. So anyway, going back to this documentary, so.
Damn, nigga.
What I found crazy about the doc was the amount of pull that it's crazy how much that you showed firsthand what how art can help change things.
Yeah.
And just you putting an artist up, you getting behind the artist, other artists, you, Wyclef, Sean Penn, all these other cats getting behind this dude, you were able to fucking get him elected. Or he got himself, like he did his thing too. Everybody did it. But it was really crazy it was fucking mind-boggling to see.
The behind the scene of it.
This is another, how much money did he put into his campaign? Like,
in the beginning?
Yeah.
He didn't have any money. So you gotta understand something. So I'm looking at this as chess. So Wyclef, the political system is weird. So just to kind of brief people real quick. So the way it works, you have to go register.
Okay.
Right? Kind of like similar to here. But then they decide whether or not you're qualified to run. So the day that Clef went to register, myself and everyone else, Clef had $20 million just going to register. By the way, let me just tell you, it only costs $1,000 to register.
That's it.
Clef had $20 million. You know how much money we had?
$1,000.
No, we had about $40,000 of IOU, $47,000 of IOU. Like his mom was like, yeah, if you really make it through, I might give you $700. His brother was like, yeah, I chip in $500. So we had pledges.
Yeah.
Okay. We probably had maybe 10,000 of our own money.
And then pledged another 30 grand.
Clef had 20 million. This dude brought in Range Rovers, flew in Range Rovers to Haiti. There ain't no Range Rovers in Haiti.
That must have been like bringing in fucking spaceships. Like cats must have just been fucking...
he had the guns. You see what I'm saying to you?
Yeah.
So to get you to understand, it was a daunting thing for us. But you're right. After it was all said and done, I was able to say, since we don't have the money, let's use another tactic. And my tactic was the press. And that's how Michelle Martelly, because when AP, Associated Press, found out that I wasn't supporting Wyclef because they were there, the headline was ex-Fuji doesn't support bandmate. That was the tagline. And that just went
boom, it
blew up. CNN, Wall Street Journal, MSNBC.
Did it make you look like bitter?
A hater?
Yeah. I don't like that term, but yeah. Did it make you look like a hater?
In the beginning, but I think when people heard my argument, it was like, well, it's democracy. He has the right to support who he wants to support.
And you guys never mentioned this, but Clef did get in a bit of trouble paying himself $100,000 for like a Haiti concert.
Yeah, but that was his nonprofit, but that had nothing to do with this. That was before he even ran
for president.
Yeah, because I remember that was in January of 2010. This is right after he did Oprah. He did the Oprah show, and then that came out. So that was like months before that. And we were, my movie isn't to.
It's not to slander Wyclef,
right.
and it actually shows how Wyclef helped the cause.
Yeah.
I'm just telling you what I saw.
I'm
just saying what I saw,
Of course. What
and I'm telling you news facts.
Right.
That's
right.
like
no. Of course, you're right. You're right, 100%. But like I said, we weren't trying to make that kind of movie. But
no, and you
right,
did.
though.
You succeeded in I felt like it was very
balanced.
Right. Yeah. All right. So, look, we've taken a bunch of time from you, and I can't take much more. But let me just, you got him elected.
Yeah.
And here was the problem that I saw. Like, I was watching the election process. It was corrupt from the top to the fucking bottom, dude. They were like, it was the grimiest shit I've ever seen.
It's gangster.
I don't know what a fucking president could do. Like, you got him there, but like, to be real with you, I'm like, I don't know what this is a nice symbol, but
right.
I don't know how effective he can be in something that is. It looked rotten.
No,
bro.
it's crazy, but I mean,
how effective was he, or is he?
Well, okay. So just so you know, a couple weeks ago we just had another election, so it's been 4 years.
Okay.
Okay. So he can't run again. He can only do one term. He can't do 2 consecutive terms. So obviously, look, he didn't do that great of a job, but the election wasn't about that so much. What really it was about, it was symbolic. It was about democracy. It was about people's voices being heard. We saw that in Mizzou last week with the kids up in that university, and the athletes walked out. They were protesting, and the school had to pay $1 million fine. That's how we got to protest. The way you protest is not walking the streets with picket sign. Those days is over. That's the 50s, 60s, 70s. That's not effective.
It's dollars and votes.
It's dollars and economics.
Yeah.
Just like I believe what the Clippers should have done last year with that whole Donald Sterling thing, during the playoff, they should have all sat down and said, we ain't gonna play, and let ABC figure the shit the fuck out. Then you're gonna have people listening to you, and so black people being the #1 consumption group in America, $1.2 trillion. If we spend 2 days and boycotted anything, I promise you, people will fucking listen to what you have to say. That's my opinion. Circumventing back to the movie, Sweet Mickey for President. I'm gonna urge everyone when it comes out in January. Go watch it. It's an incredible movie. It's a roller coaster ride. I'm proud of it. It's a movie where you don't have to know about Haiti or give a fuck about Haiti to really enjoy it. I gotta be honest with you. I'm Haitian. If somebody came to me and said, "Yo, man, there's a documentary about Haiti," I'd be like, "Man, fuck out of here. I don't want to see no shit like that." You know what I'm saying? Because documentaries, like, whatever. But this is different. You know what I mean? This is something that, it's not because traditionally documentaries are, you got to be interested in that particular subject matter for you to get into it.
This one's like watching a goddamn Greek tragedy or some shit like that. I thought it was, honestly, dude, I thought it was great. Like I said, I was out of my mind on ketamine, and I was like, the last thing I want to fucking do
watch a documentary.
is sober up and watch.
Right.
I like documentaries, don't get me wrong.
I like them too, but I'm just saying for the average, listen, we talking on this radio station, documentaries not traditionally for this audience. You see what I'm saying to you?
Don't sell them. Don't sell it short. They'll fuck with this.
No,
shit.
I'm saying, no. I know they will fuck with it, but I'm saying, traditionally speaking, no, this shit right here is fire. You know what I'm saying to you? It's like, but see, the director and I purposely wanted to make it where it was accessible to people. You see what I'm saying to you? That's how we did it. That's why when you look at the way he shot it, the animations and
I felt like I learned a bit about Haiti. Like, look, I'm not going to be able to go to a fucking dinner party and hold my own in a conversation.
I understand that.
But I felt like I learned a bit about it. I got to see the landscape, and I got to see where people were living.
Right.
I got to see how they were living. And
you learn a little something.
I learned something.
Listen, that holds for anything. I mean, listen, every day we should try to learn something. It don't necessarily have to be. People should not lean upon their own misunderstanding. You know what I mean? It's like, I'm one of those people. I always want to learn something. I don't care where it's from, what culture. That's why if you talk to me about anything, any subject matter, I'm able to converse with you on it because I'm so fascinated. Like when you mention Michigan, right? You know how many people, if you mention Michigan, don't even know, like, Michigan? Okay, because some people are just caught in their bubble.
Yeah,
but we gotta get out of that. Because if we don't, that's our special interest group, corporations, are going to control us.
Pros.
Thank you very much for having me here.
The documentary comes out. Is it going to get a theater release, or are you going to do like...
Yeah, so we did a theater release 1 week for this week in LA, 1 week in New York, but then we're going to go wide in major cities in January. So we're going to start prepping up for the marketing and P&A for that. So it's going to be in theaters in January, definitely. LA, DC, major cities, Miami, obviously, Boston, Jersey, Michigan, You know what I
Thanks.
mean? Yeah, I had to throw that one in there. You know what I'm saying? But it's all good, man. But listen, I want to thank you for having me up in here.
Awesome.
Thanks.
Yo, fucking awesome documentary. I watched the whole thing. I even canceled a motherfucking booty call. I didn't come. You know what I mean? I ain't even fuck.
I'm sorry about that, man.
Nah, man. Like, yo, I was like, this is good.
Okay. Well, at least you weren't let down. That's good.
Nah, bro.
But you
like,
can call it tonight.
I might do that. I don't know. I don't know. Who knows, Praz? Who knows?
Yeah, man.
You know, life's more than just a nut sometimes.
You're right about that, man. You're definitely right about
Yo,
that.
it got the Judah Angelini cosign. I'll tell you that much. You learn something. You watch it like it's like a fucking movie. It's got an awesome storyline, and I got to learn a bit more about the Fugees. You know.
Word.
Thank you so much, Praz.
Thanks for having me, man.
This is the All Out Show on Shade 45.